My name is Andrea Lucy, and I've been in a relationship for a year and a half. The longest I've gone without seeing my boyfriend, it's been like over 3 weeks, and we mostly just text or like use Facebook. Um, we Skype sometimes, like, and we make calls like later at night and stuff.
I'm a counselor here at CAPS. My background is actually in marriage and family psychology. You know, there are many things that a couple needs to be mindful of, especially in long distance relationships. On the one hand, you don't spend as much time together, so the time that you do spend together is more precious. So the little things can be much more meaningful than if you are in a traditional relationship. So some of the things that couples really need to be mindful of is communication. In traditional relationships, communication can be a little bit easier when you see a person on a daily basis. However, when you have that distance, the communication will be limited to some extent.
Sometimes I get really frustrated because we can't communicate properly, which is really difficult for me. And I try to fix it by talking to him more and like talking on the phone where I can like talk about what I need to properly and not through texting, which he doesn't understand all the time. We just try to talk our problems out.
But so in terms of spending time together, pre-planning activities, just depends on how frequently you see your partner. If it's very infrequent, making the time really precious to plan out things ahead of time. And what ties into communication, there can be different ways of communication, like being mindful of sending text messages, creating routines. When in traditional relationships, when you have the opportunity to spend a lot of time together, couples naturally tend to develop their own traditions, their own routines, whether it's something around birthdays, holidays, socializing. So the routines can be different in long-term relationships, such as sending a text message every morning, making that a rule that every morning, as soon as you get up, you send a text message, good morning, sending text message good night at the end of the day, sending an email, which is something sweet, something funny, to remind the other person that you're thinking about them.
The distance gets easier when we think about where we're going to be like living in the future together. We do that a lot. We try to make plans, and that makes it easier so we know when there's like an end point when this gets over.
And I think what makes a difference too is how long the couple is apart. Ultimately, relationships cannot go indefinitely being long term. So if there is a goal in mind or a specific period of time, how long the couple will be apart, it makes it a little bit easier to come up with a plan, sort of intermediate plan to make it work.
I don't believe distance makes the heart grow fonder. It just makes it worse. If I could choose not to be in a long distance relationship, I would choose not to be in one because it gets emotional and everyone's angry, and it's awful. I wouldn't wish it on anyone.